My name is Darren Spencer. Many people know me as Coach Spence. I will be your master of ceremonies for this evening. At this time, I believe we have our ROTC that's here from Vineland High School is going to come up and read it in our pledge of allegiance.
Please stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. Place your hand on your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order. Thank you.
You may be seated. Before we go ahead with the program, I do want to recognize some of our attendees that are here this evening. Starting with Dr. McCann, who is actually the interim superintendent. Actually, I believe today is his last day as the interim superintendent, so we want to recognize him. We also have the principal of this school, who can stand. And any board members that are here this evening, please stand. Thank you. I did want to start by saying this is a very joyous occasion, not just for those people who are being inducted today, but for me personally, because some of these inductees today I personally coached. So it's a really special moment for me this evening. What we are going to do first is to have our dinner. We're going to have Mr. Elliot DeShields is going to come up and bless the food. We'll allow you guys to go ahead and have dinner, and then following that, we'll begin our ceremony. So, Mr. DeShields, if you can come up right now very quickly for me. Everybody knows Coach DeShields. He's been around here for forever.
Jump up there.
We all bow our heads in a word of prayer. Most gracious Father, we just come at this time to thank you for this day that you've had, Lord. We just thank you for, again, just blessing us with the opportunity to coach these athletes, dear Father. We thank you for the recognition tonight, dear Father, Lord. We just thank you for all the great memories, Lord. We thank you for the coaches that work with them, the teachers, the parents. We just thank you for everyone that's involved in these athletes and these inductees' lives throughout the year. Lord God, we just thank you for blessing them and keep them on the path that you want them to go, dear Father, Lord. Most of all, Lord, we just thank you for the people that they are today, dear Father. We see the families, we see the love expressed, and we just thank you, Lord, for all those things, Lord. And at this time, we ask that you please bless the food that we're about to receive. We ask that this food be nourishing to our body, dear Father. Father, in your name we pray. Amen.
This time, we're going to leave this into the hands of Tedesco. I believe that will come at this time. They'll be coming to the tables, telling those tables to come up at this time. Okay, we're going to continue with our program. I want to thank Tedesco for a fine meal this evening. Thank you so much. So let me tell you how we're going to do the rest of the program. First, I'm going to have one of our board members, Mrs. Vasquez, come up to you and say a few words. Following that, we'll have all of our inductees, the guest speakers. We have people that will introduce you. That was requested, so we'll call them up, and then followed by our inductees. Mrs. Vasquez, if you'd like to come up at this time, she'd like to say a few words. Welcome her, please.
Good evening, Luz Vasquez, part of the Vineland Board of Education Board, and it is an honor to be here tonight representing the board. And what an honor it is to be here with former athletes. I was not an athlete. I was part of the creative. I was in theater and music, but I always admired the camaraderie, the teamwork, and the fame that came with being a good athlete. So to be here with the greats of our time, and it definitely is an honor. And athletics here at the school is the lifeblood of this school. Many times academics are not really highlighted. Maybe for the scholarships, you get to realize publicly what these kids are doing. But we always get to see a good game and who's playing, who's scoring, and tournaments and championships. And this year I got to enjoy a more in-depth view of a lot of the athletic program here in the school. And tonight I get to see, it was a family reunion to see so many that I consider long-term friends that are like family to me, and to see these young kids now grown with their own families coming here tonight. So it is very special for me to be here. I say congratulations, God bless you, and thank you for being part of VHS Alumni. Appreciate it.
Okay, moving right along, there are a couple of people I forgot to make mention of the vital part in putting this together. Our athletic director, Michelle, give her a hand. Thank you so much for all what you do. And our committee, our Hall of Fame committee, we worked tirelessly over the year to try to put this thing together. So I'd like all of our committee members that are here to please stand at this time. Thank you. All right, for our first inductee, Mr. Rick Murphy is going to introduce Nicosia. Mr. Murphy would come up. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name. Forgive me. Mr. Murphy will do a job. If you look up into the rafters, you can see all of her accomplishments. Number one, phenomenal athlete. Mr. Murphy.
For many years, at least 40, somewhere around there. But first, I'd like to say thank you to Ashley Sale and the Vineland community for putting this together, making this event possible. And special thanks to Ina for asking me to introduce it. It's the first jersey retirement ever at Vineland High School. Vineland High School has been around since, anybody know? 1880. And the first jersey retirement ever in any sport was 1935, Major League Baseball. Ashley, the first year you're an AD, you're doing it right here, right now. Congratulations. Very impressive. Very impressive. In my years at Vineland, I was coaching for over 35 years. And probably watching for over 50. So that makes me pretty old. And a lot of the kids always ask me, how old are you, coach? Or even now, they ask me how old I am. I tell them. I tell them what Santa Claus told me. I'm as old as my nose, a little older than my teeth. And that's the Santa Claus answer. I don't give a real answer. But during my tenure, I believe Ina was a throwback to the old days when the people here at Vineland used to play 3 sports. Ina did more than that. She played 4. Lettered in 4. Some people might not know the 4th one, but I'll tell you what happened. When Ina first started, I really didn't know her. She came in as a freshman. She played soccer for Pete Fermanez, I think. I'm not positive, but I think she played for Pete Fermanez. Then she played basketball for Gosman. gym is actually named after him. So I didn't know her as a freshman until track season came along, and I was the head track coach. So when she came out for track, I saw this tall, skinny, strong girl who could do anything. And I just said, well, she asked me, what should I do? I said, well, try everything. So she tried everything, and she was the best at everything that she did. She tried distance. I think she threw 130 feet, somewhere close to that. She tried javelin. I can't remember how far she threw, but she was good at that. Shot put, she was great at that. She was the fastest 400-meter runner and 800-meter runner that the school had. She was one of the best high jumpers that the school ever had. In fact, I think she still owns the high jump relay record with Dina Fernandez. But anyway, she could do anything. So what I used to do with her, so she would score, you could play 4 events in track. 2 running, 3 running, and 1 field event, or anything the opposite, 3 field events, 1 running event. Wherever I put her, she would win. It was like having 20 points in every track meet. And that's just like having, if you put it in basketball perspective, because she's a basketball player too, it would be like having a quadruple double in every game. Unbelievable. She just did it, and I used to put her against every other school's best player, so that would ruin their game plan and just make ours better. Anyway, that made us a very powerful team. But I wanted to thank another person I wanted to thank while I'm up here tonight, was probably one of the greatest track coaches that I learned from, and I wouldn't have known Ina if I didn't know this person. And he sadly passed away this past Christmas. His name is Mike DiBiase. He's a Hall of Fame member also. Great person, great teacher, just an unbelievable person. I just thought I should mention his name because he taught me, he was my mentor, and then I got to do some great things with students with him. But there were many others who I learned from as mentors. Robin Daphne, great teacher, athletic director. At Harvard, who the gymnasium was named after. I learned a lot of my basketball coaching styles from Ed Harvard. They named the gym after him. Unbelievable person, great administrator, great teacher, everything. All the said Irv Gosman. But we also had Chalky Ottinger and Tony DeTomo. Fields are named after him. The hallway in the school is named after Chalky. And I just learned a heck of a lot when I was here. I always tried to take the best stuff from all these coaches. And some of the stuff I used, some of the kids liked it, some of the kids didn't listen, but some soaked it up like a sponge, and that was Ina. She soaked everything up like a sponge. And the first time we met, I think I told you, she was that freshman track star. But I gave up coaching cross country because I finally got the head basketball job here. And that was, I think, Ina's junior year. So during that time, Ina was already great, was getting so much better in basketball, but she was tremendous in track, but she wanted to get better at basketball. So she asked, she asked me, because I was a track coach, what can we do? And I was the head basketball boys coach. What can she do to get better? And I don't know if it was her idea or my idea, but we got this idea from Coach Casady, who's out here somewhere. Coach, could you stand up, please? He was our swim coach, and he was the greatest swim coach in South Jersey. I think they won hundreds and hundreds of meets in a row. It was incredible. So we decided to practice in the mornings. We came here every morning. I think we shot at that basket or this basket if it was ever down. And she did drills, she shot, we did all kinds of things, and she kept on getting better and better. And to make a long story short, she just turned out to have an unbelievable career in basketball, getting a scholarship to Richmond, I believe, and had a tremendous career there as well. But in our track books, and we had track books because the swim team had swim books. Every season, the swim coach, I liked the idea of having a little book after the season. So Coach Casady, again, we stole a page out of his book, and we started making a track book. So in the track book, not only did we have their records, their pictures, we had all kinds of stuff in there. We had some poems. And one of the poems was called Little Eyes Upon You. And I think Ina might remember this, but maybe not all the words. I thought it would be good for all the kids to have this. And it went like this. There are little eyes upon you, and they're watching night and day. There are little ears that quickly take in every word you say. There are little hands all eager to do everything you do, and a little person who's dreaming of the day they'll be like you. You're the little person's idol, you're the wisest of the wise. In their eyes, in their little minds about you, no suspicions ever rise. They believe in you devoutly and hold all that you say and do. They will say and do it your way when they grow up to be just like you. There's a wide-eyed little person who believes you're always right, and their eyes are always open and they're watching day and night. You are setting an example every day in all you do for the little person who's waiting to grow up to be like you. I think Ina really took to that poem a lot. It works for family and everybody else too. So I also learned that in her senior year, she had a little bit of a streak in her too, a little bit of an ornery streak, if you will. We were going to the Woodbury relays. Probably, Belly, wouldn't you say it's one of the biggest relays in South Jersey, even now, but back then it was also. Other than the Penn relays, which is not in Jersey, Woodbury relays was the relay to go to. So I get a call. It must be about 6:30 in the morning, and she's going to be a little bit late. And she knew my rule. All we had was 5 minutes. 5 minutes before I left, and I left a lot of students behind if they were past 5 minutes for the bus ride. So, remember, I've had her for 3 years. She's probably one of the best athletes in South Jersey at the time. 1 minute goes by, I'm sweating. 2 minutes goes by, sweating more. 3 minutes goes by. And by this time, I'm praying that she's going to be in the 4th minute. But I do remember another little poem that I gave to the kids, and I'm almost done, I'm sorry, I'm almost done. And it was called The Indispensable Man. With her case, with the girls, since I coached girls track at that time, I put a woman in there instead of me. But it went like this: sometimes when you're feeling important, sometimes when your ego's on bloom, sometimes when you take it for granted that you're the best qualified in the room, sometimes when you feel that you're going to leave an unfillable hole, just follow these simple instructions and see how it humbles your soul. Take a bucket and fill it with water, put your hand in it up to the wrist. Pull it out, and the hole that's remaining is a measure of how you've been missed. You can splash all you want when you enter. You can stir up the water below. But stop and you'll find that in no time, it looks quite the same as before. The moral of this quaint example is to do just the best that you can. Be proud of yourself, but remember, there's no indispensable man. So I'm a new outside because that poem was out there for her. She read it. So in the 4th minute, here comes her car. So thank God, I don't have to leave. So she gets out of her car, and I see a girl with a puffed up lip like that, out to here, bandaged all over her head, blood stains everywhere, on crutches. She gets on the bus, she says, "Coach, I think I can play today. I think I can play." So of course I'm sitting on the bus and I'm rewriting my whole lineup because I can't play her. She's just done. 30 minutes into this bus ride to Woodbury, I go to announce the lineup to the team, and Ina's not on the lineup. She comes, "But Coach, I can do it. She's in the back, they're all kind of giggling and laughing. She says, "Look," she takes out the claws in her mouth, she unwraps the bandages on her head, she throws the crutches. "I don't need them, I'm okay." April Fools. You have an ornery person retired the number 2 tonight. There's Ina Nicosia. Please come on.
Gina.
So I brought a tissue up as well, just in case, girls, you know, menopause. We'll see if I start crying. First of all, thank you so much, Coach. I'll get to you later. But when I got this phone call, I'm sorry, actually, I got the email. It was a Monday night. And before I go any further, I want to give a huge shout out. I hope I can use your first names, Ashley and Allie, for contacting me. I've been called, because I live in Switzerland, so I have a 6-hour time difference. So I'm writing them emails in the middle of the night. They probably think that we realize we're in different time zones. Hey, whoever made the decision to bring this stack in that direction, well done. Congratulations, Ashley, first woman athletic director in history of Vineland High School. Congratulations, Alex. Thank you for all your help along the way. I'm humbled, I'm honored. So the night that I got this email, I had found out that the president of my basketball club had passed away. And I'm in my mid-50s, you know, you get to a certain age and your friends start passing, but the president of my club had passed away and I was feeling pretty bad and we were crying and former players were calling and coaches and all these things. And then I said, well, let me check my emails in case somebody tried to get in touch with me. And then I see this email from Vineland High School. And I was like, okay, I stole one bus in 1989, but I brought it back. What are they ready me for? And well, I guess it wasn't a thing. I didn't even know it was a thing. It's not something that I endeavored to. It's a piece of wood, if anybody lost it. Not something I endeavored for because it didn't exist, so I didn't know that there was this honor available. But thank you, Ashley, for getting this thing started. It's such a big honor, and I gasped, and yeah, the rest is history. But thank you so much. It was really a big surprise. So thank you. No, it's kind of a full circle moment that I want to mention because this is the may I say Ed? I always call him Mr. Harvard, Coach Harvard. Ed Harvard Jim. Ed Harvard was my first basketball coach. Ed Harvard put on a free clinic at Memorial, and those days, you know, it was before the internet, so you didn't get an email or a telephone call or anything like this. You got a little slip of paper in your school bag, and you brought it home, and your mom would go through, or your dad would go through all your papers. He was offering a free clinic. All you had to do was bring your own basketball. So I asked my parents if I could sign up, and they were like, well, we don't know. And then I was like, it's free. They're like, oh, yeah, you can go. So I went out to Memorial High School. At that time, was it junior high school or middle school? I'm not sure, because it was during that transition. Anyway, went out to Memorial. Gym full, absolutely full. Everybody has their basketball balls flying all over the place. And I looked around, and I realized I was the only girl there. And I don't know who cracked the glass ceiling, if it was me or Mr. Harvard, but Mr. Harvard didn't blink an eye, didn't say anything about me being the only girl in the gym full of boys. He made me do the same drills and the same activities that everyone else did. So, rest in peace, Mr. Harvard. And it's kind of a full circle moment to be in the Ed Harvard gym with my first named after my first basketball coach. So, thanks, Mr. Harvard. Rest in peace. Ironically, the basketball court is named after Irv Gosman, who was Gloria and my basketball coach, also my sister's basketball coach. So shout out to Mr. Gosman, also who was my basketball coach for 4 years. I had the honor of attending his funeral several years ago. But what did he say, Gloria? Cheese and crackers! You're playing defense like a wooden soldier! But that was our basketball coach, so it's kind of a full circle moment of Mr. Harvard Gym, Mr. Gosman Court, and right here, Coach Barufi, is where we met every morning before school on this thing, with this basket, and we worked an hour, 45 minutes, every day before school, and he was a guard, I was a post player, so he was trying to teach me. I was so skinny and weak, he was teaching me things, taught me how to draw a charge, and that ended up being one of my best defensive moves was, well, falling on my butt, but drawing a charge, so that all came from Mr. Murphy, so thank you so much. But back again, when I found out that I was getting my jersey retired, the first phone call I made was to my brother.
And I said, Alex, can I stay at your house for a couple of weeks? I'm going to come home for my Jersey retirement. And he said, yes, of course. And I just found out, maybe yesterday or the day before, he said he always picked jerseys with the number 5 in it because I wore number 50. And he wanted to be like me. He's much younger than his sisters. And it was really kind of sweet. But also another little known fact is when I graduated, so I was a senior when my little sister was a freshman. We did soccer, basketball, and track together. And when I graduated, I left my number 50 to my sister. So I wore number 50 for 4 years. And 3 years after I graduated, it was worn by my little sister. So for 7 years, the number 50 was on a Nicosia bag. So will you all join me in a round of applause for my sister's jersey getting retired? But yeah, Mr. Baruffi was my track coach for 4 years. Also, Miss Mrs. Duffy. And right, Gloria, we loved running for her because we love little kids. Are we allowed to say kind of bad words? She could kick everybody's ass on the whole track team. Whatever you put her in, she could get the blocks faster. She could high jump better. She was such a great female role model to have. And Mrs. Well, we were seniors, we could call you Carol, so I can still call you Carol. Right? Carol, thank you for being such a great role model. I remember when she was teaching me the high jump, I had a hard time throwing my head back, and you have to thrust your hips. And she would say, come on, Ina, like, hump this guy. And I was 14, I'm like, hump? What? But I just understood. She was saying, you thrust your hips, like, hump this guy. I thought she was saying, hump this guy. And I was like, what does that mean? I'm 14, I don't understand. But great track coach, and I actually was able to coach under her and her husband, Mr. Duffy. We coached together for 1 year track and field. But there's very few times that you have a coach that makes an impact on your life, and so much as Mr. Baruffi, we still are in contact. And you know, you parents, sometimes I open my mouth, I work with children sometimes, and I open up my mouth and my mother comes out. So I'll hear myself say, because I am the adult and you were the child. And I'm like, that's my mom. But sometimes when I'm coaching, Mr. Baruffi comes out. And it was, come on now! Or when you're running, he goes, come on now! And I hear Mr. Baruffi come out, and great coach, honored that also Mrs. Duffy's here. But I also have to give a shout out to the table, the whole table there. Miss Smith, who was a great gym teacher here, best volleyball player in town. Mrs. Mulligan, who is one of the original athletes here, also was a member of the Sports Booster Club that's put on all these events for us when we were little, when we were kids. And of course, Chip, he used to go visit my dad once a month and take care of him. He was also in the Sports Club, Booster Club, thank you very much. And I have to also give a huge shout out to my favorite teacher, Mrs. Sheftal. My favorite English teacher, my favorite teacher ever, Mrs. Sheftal. She was also the director of the newspaper staff. So I was actually in Mr. Cassini's homeroom for 2 years, and then I was in Mrs. Sheftal's homeroom because I was on the newspaper staff. Best teacher ever. Thank you, Mrs. Sheftal. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. Let's see. I wrote notes for a reason, but I can't see my own handwriting. Long story longer, I was a girl, I grew up 2 miles from here. I never realized I would play all over Eastern and Western Europe, that I would coach the national team in Serbia and Montenegro, that I would get to go to Asia and Africa and travel this world, winning 3 national championships and all the things I got to accomplish because I could throw a little pumpkin in a circle. But that's how much basketball means to me. I'm not saying getting out of this town is a good thing. I'm just saying it opened so many doors for me. But when I get to Vineland and I'm home here, I feel home. This is where my roots are. So this is a huge honor for me to be in front of my family and friends, my old teachers and coaches, and it's just great to be here in Vineland. So thank you very much for that. To my table, to Gloria, who's been my lifelong friend, who forever, many thousands thousands of points I scored. She probably passed me the ball half of the time that I made those points. She gave the eulogy at my father's funeral. I love you, Gloria. And thank you to everyone, Brian, who had the basketball hoop across the street where we could practice all the time. Nana for coming out and supporting. Stacy and I, who played AAU basketball together in Philadelphia. I don't know how we're not in jail. We were so bad. But we're not in jail, so let's celebrate that also. And Nadine, dankeschön vielmals für alles, was du machst, nicht nur für mich, aber auch für unsere Family. Es ist nicht selbstverständlich, dass du mitgekommen bist, aber du bist einfach der Beste. Du weißt das trotzdem, aber du bist der Beste. Ich bin ganz sehr, sehr dankbar. Dankeschön vielmals und ich liebe dich ganz fest. Also, speak English here. Thank you very much again. Shout out to the athletic department, to the committee, to everybody, coaches, parents. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a nice evening. And go Bernhardt!
I kind of laughed at mine. I was laughing at mine because I heard a story. I don't know if people know that you ran in, was it an athletic school that you run over in Switzerland? Okay, but I heard a story about Ina teaching a dance class. I guess somebody called out that day. Am I correct? So I can imagine you being in a tutu, running around with kids showing them how to dance. All right, we're going to go ahead and continue. We're going to have Heather Anderson. Is Heather in the house? Heather? Come on up, Heather. She's going to introduce Katie. For those who know, Heather's one of our phenomenal athletes that also come out of Vineland High School, one of our swimmers. Let's give her a hand as she comes in.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's so great to see so many familiar faces. Thank you to the original Booster Club. They were there when I got inducted my senior year. So many memorable occasions. But thank you to putting this all together way back when. And thank you to the athletic department for putting tonight together. I first want to congratulate all the inductees tonight. It's a great honor that you were here. You put in a lot of hard work. I know firsthand the amount of sacrifices, the commitment, the dedication that it took for you to get here, and your parents to get here. So thank you, congratulations, and you should be proud, obviously, and thank your parents for all that time and sacrifice. They helped you to get where you are today. All right. Going back early on in my coaching career when I first started, I had this tall ex-swimmer come in, first year rower. Like the majority, not many athletes coming in know about the sport, so we teach them from the ground zero and build upon that. But I saw the potential right away. It wasn't until her sophomore year until she kind of bought into it, and she fought it. But once she realized her potential, she took off. Katie went on to earn 3 varsity letters in rowing while placing top 5 at the Garden State Championships, Atlantic County Championships, and the Stokesbury Cup over those 3 years. Her boats also qualified for the Classic Rowing Nationals all 3 of those years, and most notably finished 4th in the JV8 her junior year. Sophomore year. As a junior, though, she did break, well, she set her 2K record We row on ergometers, the rowing machines that you might see in the gym, and the numerical meter that we go by, their ability, their time, is a 2,000 meter test. So as a junior, she set the bar at a 7:32, and that record is still standing today. Katie went on to continue her athletic and academic career at Ohio State against my better judgment at Michigan. I just had to add that in there. But yeah, she went on to continue her 4 years athletic scholarship. Within those 4 years, as a sophomore, she was a member of the second varsity 8, placing second in the Big Ten and NCAA championships, helping the team to place second overall at the Big Tens and fifth in the NCAA championships, and this was her sophomore year. As a junior, she'll continue to row in the second varsity 8. Her boat won the Big Ten championships as well as the NCAA championships, and that year the team also won the Big Ten championships and the national championships. As a senior, she was part of the varsity 4, also winning the Big Ten championships and placing 7th at the NCAAs. The team went on to win Big Tens and an NCAA championship again for the second year in a row. Academically, Katie was a scholar athlete recipient, graduated with cum laude honors, earning a Bachelor of Arts degree in International Global Studies and Russian. She's currently living in San Francisco, California, with her husband Jackson and her son Callum. Katie is employed by the Allstate as a team lead for the Partner Success Team as part of their health division. With that said, I am extremely proud of Katie's hard work and honored to be here tonight to induct her as the first rowing inductee for the Booster Hall of Fame. So without further ado, I present Katie Beletskaya.
Thank you. This is a little surreal for something that started as a pretty small decision to walk on to the freshman rowing team, or to the rowing team my freshman year. If I had to sum up Vineland rowing in one word, it's brick. Our boathouse was a warehouse, no dock, and in a Millville industrial lot. No fancy equipment like the other schools had. What we had was each other and a coach who would not let that be our excuse. That coach was Heather. Heather believed in me before I did, and she's the reason I got on any college radar at all. She's also a big part of why I ended up at Ohio State on scholarship, which turned into 2 back-to-back NCAA wins. Now here's the thing about Heather. She did mention that she went to Michigan, a Big Ten rival of Ohio State, and somehow still showed up cheering for a Buckeye at NCAA races, which tells you everything about her character. Thank you, Heather. Thank you to my parents for supporting me through it all and for making me go back to practice when I wanted to quit. Thank you to the Vineland High School Athletic Department for backing our rowing program and allowing us to race up and down the halls for winter conditioning. And lastly, a special thanks to the Dehanat family and Lou Tramontana for helping keep the operations of our rowing program always running smoothly every single time. It's crazy how one small decision can change the entire trajectory of your life. I'm really proud to be a part of this school's history. Thank you.
And if you can come back up, we can get your picture, so if you can come up as well, so we can get your picture. you mentioned that jersey will be retired. That is in the process, and that will be coming here at Vineland High School. So we look forward to seeing you. And next we have Coach Mike Schneider. I'm going to come up and introduce Ms. Bernhardt. Following Mr. Snyder, there is going to be a video that will be played. Ms. Bernhardt will be with us and show her coach explain reasons why. Mr. Snyder.
Good evening, everybody. I want to start by congratulating all of the inductees on this honor. We have certainly had a number of, well, more than a number, a lot of tremendous athletes come through Vineland High School, and being selected into the Hall of Fame is a serious accomplishment, so congratulations to all of the inductees. Quick shout out to my former teammate, Darren Ford, who will be up here shortly also. Played baseball with Darren from Little League all the way up through Vineland High School, so super excited to see him here tonight also. When I think about Rachel Bernhardt's career, it really makes me think about the long-term development of athletes and the importance of not, focusing too much on the here and now and really looking at the long-term development and what can be in the future. In addition to coaching the high school team, I also have the opportunity to work with a lot of younger athletes with local age group teams in town, and I interact with a lot of parents who are often comparing their children to their peers. They are looking at age group records on a record board and individual recognition at as young as 7 or 8 years old, and not looking at what can be in the future if we stick to a plan of development. And I first met Rachel as an 8-year-old. I had just taken my first coaching job at 18 years old at Capri Swim Club in Vineland. Rachel was 8 years old and a member of that team. And I can tell you at 8 years old, she is not somebody that you would think would be a future multi-time Olympic trial participant. But it was the long-term development, it was her determination to get better year after year, honing her craft, that led her to become what she ultimately became. After 3 summers with our summer team at Capri, Rachel and I both went to Dolphin Swim Club in Vineland. Rachel had an older sister who was getting ready to join the Vineland High School swim team, and as was tradition back then, pretty much every swimmer who was going to join the Vineland High School team would go to Dolphin to begin training for Coach Casadia. And Coach Casadia that same summer hired me as one of his assistant coaches. And I got to see firsthand how Rachel's development, was to continue in that program. She joined the Vineland High School girls swim team as a freshman in 2009. And then I took over the team in 2010-11 when she was a sophomore. And again, just the continued step-by-step development of her as an athlete is just something that, I continue to think about and talk to athletes and parents about today. As a sophomore in high school, she really sort of, as it says in her bio there, that she exploded into the top tier of New Jersey high school swimmers. That year, she broke several school records. She finished 5th in the state in the 100 breaststroke. She achieved an All-America consideration time. She led off a relay that won a state championship and achieved All-America status. Her junior year, she broke the state record in the 100 breaststroke. Unfortunately, only held that record for about a day. She was beaten by another swimmer in the finals the next day. And I do think that that is something that sort of kept Rachel hungry throughout her career. You know, she was a top 25 100-yard breaststroker in the country each of her last 2 years in high school, but she wasn't the fastest 100 breaststroker in our conference. It was a young lady at Atlantic City who, beat Rachel at states those last 2 years. Rachel eventually, 4 years later, swam against that same young lady at NCAA championships and beat her. After graduating high school, Rachel, as a multiple-time All-American in high school, multiple-time school record holder, she accepted a scholarship to Drexel University, where she continued to earn honors in the pool. She was the 100 and 200-yard breaststroke conference champion, the Colonial Athletic Association, her junior and senior years. She was the conference women's swimmer of the year each of those 2 years. She qualified for the NCAA Division I championships each of those 2 years. And she was a NCAA Division I honorable mention All-American as a senior in 2017. She also qualified for and competed at the U.S. Olympic team trials in 2016, 2021, and 2024. In 2021, she placed 8th in the 200-meter breaststroke at the Olympic trials and to final, one of the top 8 swimmers at the U.S. Olympic trials in any event is a really remarkable accomplishment. There are years that the top 8 swimmers in the U.S. Olympic trials can could medal at the Olympic Games. It is so competitive, for the swimmers in our country to qualify. In 2023, she actually was selected as a member of the U.S. national team. She did a time at a meet that year that ranked her 51st in the world in the FINA World Rankings in the 100-meter breaststroke in 2023. And just, accomplishment after accomplishment after accomplishment. But I still think back to, what she was as an 8-year-old and what was in that process of her growing as an athlete year after year. And it was just a commitment to the grind. As Coach Nicosia would certainly attest to also, the commitment to, focusing on everything you're doing on a daily basis, on getting a little bit better every single day, because oftentimes the athletes who are the best at 7 or 8 years old are not the ones who are the best when they reach the end of their careers. And Rachel is such a tremendous example of that we, talk to so many of our young athletes about to get them to focus on the process and not on like the immediate gratification of what they can accomplish right in this moment, and instead in what they can accomplish, when they advance into their careers. As Coach Spencer mentioned, Rachel was unable to be here tonight for a really fantastic reason. She and her husband welcomed their first child several weeks ago, so she is at home taking care of their son. Her parents are here tonight to accept the award on her behalf, but she did record a short thank you video that I think we are going to play on the TV now.
Good evening, everyone, faculty, staff, fellow honorees, family, friends, and distinguished guests. Thank you for being here tonight. I would like to take a moment and apologize for not being able to be present, but my firstborn made his entrance into this world just 3 weeks ago, so I'm still recovering and he's recovering. Everyone meet Thomas Dickerson. Unhappy with me right now because I'm interrupting nap time, but thank you so much to the committee for letting me record a little speech. Standing before you as a new member of the Vineland High School Hall of Fame is truly humbling. When I walked the halls as a student, I never imagined this moment. I was just a kid trying to figure things out, navigating classes, sports, clubs, friendships, and growing from childhood to adulthood. To be recognized alongside so many incredible alumni who have made their mark on this school is beyond an honor I do not take lightly. I wanted to start by saying thank you. Thank you to the Hall of Fame committee for selecting me. Thank you to the teachers and coaches who pushed me when I needed it the most. Some of you believed in me before I even believed in myself. You stayed late to help me with that extra credit assignment. You challenged my thinking in class, and you taught me that showing up consistently matters more than being perfect. To my family, especially my mom and dad who are there tonight to accept this award on my honor, your love and support carried me through the tough days and were my biggest cheerleaders. None of this would have happened without you. Looking back, high school taught me lessons that have stayed with me far beyond these walls. I learned that resilience matters, how to get back up after a bad test, a bad race, or a disappointment. I learned the value of curiosity and hard work. Most importantly, I learned that who you are becoming and your impact on others is more important than any trophy. Frequently reminding myself you either win or you learn. There is no losing. To think it all started at Vineland, this school didn't just prepare me for a college or a career, it helped shape my character. Swimming has taught me to enjoy the highs and persevere through the lows. It has allowed me to travel to places I never thought I would see and be part of a picture way bigger than I could have imagined. I am incredibly proud to be a Vineland High alum, and I'm even prouder to now be part of the Hall of Fame. This recognition motivates me to continue living the values this school stands for: excellence, integrity, and service to others. Thank you again to everyone who made this possible. Let's keep making Vineland a place worth remembering. Bye. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, everybody. I'd like to call up Rachel's parents to accept the award, and Coach Casady, if you could please join us for the picture.
Thank you, Coach Snyder. Next, I have the privilege of introducing Carla Ford, who is a friend of mine. She's going to be introducing and talking about her son, Mr. Darren Ford, who has the privilege of coaching. So come on up, Carla.
Good evening, everybody. Darren's sister. Hi, I'm Mary, and I'm Darren's sister. I'm going to read a short bio on Darren, and that's how we'll introduce him. So, Darren Beletskaya Ford was born and raised in Vineland, New Jersey, where his love for sports began at an early age. He began playing Vineland Midget Football League, VBA, and PAL basketball, South and North Vineland baseball, and also ran track. Darren was a standout athlete, earning recognition for his talent, work ethic, and determination, achieving 10 varsity letters for the Fighting Clan. He was named All-South Jersey and earned the opportunity to compete in Philly-sponsored Carpenter Cup. Guided by his faith and support by his mother and his late grandmother and family, Darren developed a mindset and discipline that would carry him throughout his baseball career. After graduating in 2004, Darren's baseball journey began when he attended Chipotle Junior College. After a successful year, he was selected by Milwaukee Brewers in the 18th round of the 2005 MLB draft. He spent several years developing through the minor league before being traded to the San Francisco Giants organization. In 2009, he won a minor league championship with San Jose Giants. The following year, in 2010, he achieved a lifelong dream when he made his major league debut with the San Francisco Giants. In his very first game on September 1st, 2010, Darren developed a memorable moment by scoring the game-winning run against the Colorado Rockies. He finished his rookie career batting a respectable .286 with a .375 on-base percentage, helping the team become World Series champions. Darren also played 40 years in Venezuela for Caracas, Huila, I'm saying that correct, and Lara, which added even more to his many experiences in his baseball career. Throughout his professional career, Darren's speed, perseverance, and commitment to the game earned him opportunities with multiple organizations, including the San Francisco Giants, Seattle Mariners, Pittsburgh Pirates. He remained dedicated to his craft for more than a decade, continuing his career in both affiliated and independent baseball. While his accomplishments on the field are impressive, Darren's story is ultimately one of faith, perseverance, and gratitude. From the ball fields of Vineland to Major League Baseball, he became a role model to many by following a path shaped by hard work, belief in God's plan, and the unwavering support of his family. His journey served as an example to young athletes that success comes not only from talent, but from dedication, resilience, and staying true to values and keeping God first. Darren's career continues as he coached for MLB Draft League Trenton Thunder in 2023. He was a manager for the Empire Professional League Tucker Lake, New York 2024, and they became champions. He also coached for Riverview, Sarasota High School in Florida 2025. When reflecting on a career that spans years, Darren always credits it to his humble beginnings. Darren is currently still leaving his mark on both on and off the field and influencing young minds as he coaches the 9-year-olds and 14-year-old sports farm, and he is also the hitting and outfield coach for the 2026 Pioneer Professional League Voyagers in Great Falls, Montana. Thank you. I would only do this for you. So introducing my big brother, who has always been my hero, Darren Ford.
Hello, blessed day, everyone. Me and Bo and Mrs. Bo, we walked into the gymnasium. It was just like, we still get the chill. Anybody gets Vineland, we gotta give them some. We feel good, Bo. Good to see you. First and foremost, I would like to thank God. He's brought me through everything, my ups and downs, and really enjoyed life and let me see the real pain, you know, the blood, the sweat, the tears, you know, and making me a kid from Vineland, New Jersey. I also want to thank everyone here, the nominees. I want to thank the Vineland Public Schools. I also want to thank Vineland Athletics, the Hall of Fame Committee, Vineland High School, my teachers, let me pass. All the coaches are yelling at me, you know, in the hallways. I want to thank the security guards, you know, telling me to stop running in the hallways, save my energy for the games. So, I thank Ashley, Alexandra, thank you so much, I appreciate it. And I also want to thank the class of 2004 and everyone. As a kid coming from Vineland, New Jersey, I had a dream, just like any other kid, to be on TV, to be someone in life. You know, I would have never accomplished none of that without God first, and also my mother, Darren Ford. I had a mother who was dedicated every day in life. She's a leader, a protector, a role model. Ever since I was 6 years old, you know, you guys can imagine just someone who pushes you every day, you know, to be someone in life. And, you know, she has her own life, you know, her own life to live. So every day she was always been there with me. I had plenty of talks with my mom. I don't know if I'm gonna do it, you know, I don't know which way to go, but she was like, just keep pushing, keep God first, and you'll be all right. So, well, I played basketball, football, baseball, ran track. You know, I had a mother who loved to travel, a grandma who loved her cowbell. Loved my sisters, you know, that would do anything for me, give me the world. And I had a family that was built, you know, for tough and always behind me. Every game I could remember, you know, anything I played, you know, just hearing my family's voice every day, and just like, all right, my family's here, I can relax and go hard. You know? So I didn't want nobody to be like, hey, why didn't you play hard today? You know, it was never that. You know, it was just always support. You know, so that was a blessing. I also want to thank the coaches. You know, all my coaches from Vineland football, PAL, DBA, South Vineland, North Vineland, track and field, Spence. So much. And Boykin, you know, they guided me through my life every day. I really want to thank you, Spence, for really pushing me as a man and the man I am today. You know, you've always been in my corner, and honestly, thank you so much. It's just life, you know, life. It was a blessing seeing the ups and downs, the highs and lows, you know, through it all. You know, I always had coaches, you know, who was dedicated to winning and do anything for us to be successful. You know, they wouldn't yell at me too much because I taught my mom, you know, I took her. So like, my coach is yelling at me, so she'll go ahead and do it. But I also would love to thank all my, you know, my family, my brothers who shared the field with me. You know, every day in, day out, the grind. You know, it's just everyone doesn't know, you know, the day in, day out grind. Kind of, you know, just to see us play on Friday nights, or you know, they kind of just play, let us see us play that one day a week or something like that. You know, just the grind. And even people who didn't, you know, play with me. Thank you, you know, for the conversations and the loyalty you have given me. You know, and I thank the people who's rooting for me. I also want to thank the people who wasn't rooting for me. At the end of the day, I went through trials and tribulations my whole life. From 6 years old all the way to the major leagues. You know, I had a heart for everyone and a mindset to never lose. When I went to college, it kind of changed my whole life for the better. I was around a lot of good competition, ton of people that was good around the world, and you know, those guys, they really took pride where they came from, you know, all over the world. And every chance I got, I made sure, you know, I stood up tall. I made sure my chest was out. You know, I made sure my eye contact was strong. I made sure my handshake was firm. I made sure I stood up and said I was football in New Jersey. Through the minor leagues, my career, I went through a lot of failure. There was times where I cried. You know, I asked God why me. Spent a lot of time to myself and God, but you know, I just knew He was just using me as an example. You know, I fell, got back up, fell, got back up, and you know, I knew the bigger picture. It wasn't about me. You know, I knew it was, you know, it was about everyone here, about do better each and every day. I didn't really care too much about the game or anything like that. I would love everyone to be in the spotlight if you left it up to me. You know, but whatever it took, whatever it took, I had an opportunity, to really compete, with people around the world, and I knew whatever it took, I was gonna make sure I was gonna be that next guy up. Now, when I got drafted, I thought, I would get drafted, I would go to the major leagues, but it didn't work like that. It's 4 different levels in minor league baseball, and I repeated every level. It's millions of players that's at the same goal. They're at the same goal. Everybody's trying to get to the major league. Day in, day out, you have to find a way. But I know I've been doing it for God, I know I've been doing it for the family, my brothers, and I know I've been doing it for the city of Alumni. As I continue to work on my craft in the minor leagues, I could see the major leagues so close, but yet, so far. I remember being in AAA, and my coach came to me. I was hurt 2 weeks prior, and we had the general manager, from San Francisco. He usually comes around and team to team, kind of, see who's playing well and things like that. So I remember my coach called me into his office, and he was like, "Darren, come to my office one day." He was like, "I have a question for you." So my mind started racing, like, "Oh my God, what the heck did I do?" So I started thinking, I'm like, he's like, "You didn't do anything bad." And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "All right." So I sat down, and he goes, "I have a question." I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Would you, I'll put you in the game in the bottom of the ninth tomorrow. You think you can still get big?" I was like, "Yeah, for sure." I'm sure. He was like, "Oh, no, never mind. I don't think you're too serious." I was like, "Put me in the game, and we're going to see if I can still pitch." So he's like, "Oh, okay, well, I believe you this time." So he's like, "Congratulations, you got called up to the big leagues." So that was kind of my debut. So I went to, I remember calling my mom, trying to go to sleep. Hung up with my mom, called her again, and she was like, "Listen, pray about everything, pray about that." So I remember the next morning they got me a Alumni to go to San Francisco for my major league debut, and I didn't really think I was going to play, just coming up from the minor leagues. It was a big game. I didn't think I was going to play. So I kind of relaxed and everything. So when I showed up, they had a layover at the airport, and I was like, "Let me call San Francisco to see. Let me see if they know how to layover." So they didn't know. So they called me right back and goes, "Darren, you need to run all the way on the side of the airport. They're going to wait for you." I was like, "Right now?" They're like, "Yeah, right now." I was like, "All right." So I hung up the phone, and I started running across the airport, and I finally get to the gate, and the lady was like, "Darren?" I was like, "Yes, ma'am." She was like, "All right, we can leave now." So we check out. We go to close up. We go to San Francisco, and once I get to San Francisco, we have another little waiting for me. This is kind of my debut. How it went. It was crazy. It was a fast, crazy day, but it ended up being good. So I get to San Francisco. They had a limo waiting for me, and I remember driving to San Francisco, trying to look at the bridge and everything, and the limo driver rolls down this window and goes, "Darren, once we get to the stadium, just make sure you just go right in. The game already started, so just make sure you go right in and get your luggage and everything." I said, "Okay, no problem." So, I kind of wanted to take my time with everything. So as I approached the clubhouse doors, I say a prayer. As soon as I say a prayer, I open the doors, and I was like a kid at a candy store. It was flat screens everywhere. It was any type of Gatorade you wanted, any type of sunflower seeds you wanted. So I kind of look at the clubhouse manager. I stop at my tracks and like, "Hey, excuse me, sir." They're like, "Yeah." I was like, can I grab some of this? They're like, "Yeah, go ahead, you can grab whatever you want." But you gotta hurry up, because the game started. I was like, "Okay." So I grabbed some stuff, I put it in my locker, and I remember once I got dressed, I see my name, on top of the locker. It was definitely a blessing. I failed so much in the minor leagues, that by the time I got my moment in the big leagues, I was prepared for it. So I get to once I get dressed, I go down to the stadium, go down to the My manager is downstairs, the game already started. So a couple players, they congratulate me and everything for getting called up. And they come to me and go, Darren, make sure you go over there and say hello to Coach. I'm like, right now, 2-1 baseball game? They're like, yeah, go over there and say. So I go down there and say hello to him. I'm like, hey, Coach, how you doing? He goes, Darren, I'm sorry. He's like, nah, it's not your fault. Just go over there, sit down, just in case we need you. So if we need you, we'll let you know. So I go sit down, about the 6th, 7th minute comes around, and I have an assistant, like an assistant manager that comes and gets everybody to tell him, gets the warm up, get warmed up and everything. So he taps me on my shoulder and goes, Darren, we're ready to go. So he goes, I go, right now, you sure? He's like, yeah, we're ready to go. So I kind of thought it was a rookie prank at first, so, but they play, they do a lot of games that have you stretch and get ready and everything. You're never going to game, so they do pranks like that, in baseball. So I thought it was kind of one of those moments. So I kind of just sat there and kind of looked at him. So he looked at me with a serious face. He's like, yeah, Darren, go ahead and get ready. Oh my God, this is serious. I gotta go. So I grab the trainer, go downstairs. So the trainer's going crazy. He's like, Darren, where you want to get a stretch? I'm like, just give me a quick stretch. I was like, hold on, I need to start everything now. So I go in the bathroom, lock the door behind me, get on my knees, take my hat off, I pray. I'm like, God, let's slow everything down. There's a lot going on. Just please be with me. So I come back out after my stretch, go back out to the dugout, and I go over to my manager. And he goes, Darren, grab it back. My manager told me to grab it back. So I grab it back. They're like, all right, never mind, Darren, put it back down. So I put it back down. They're like, no, Darren, this guy gets on base right here, you're going to run for him. I'm like, no problem. He's like, no, Darren, go run for him. I'm like, hold on, wait, there's a lot going on. Slow down. So I hit the top of the step. Before I go in the game. And I'm like, all right, please don't let me do nothing stupid, don't let me trip or anything. So let me get to the base. I don't know. By the way, I don't know no signs or anything. I'm coming from minor leagues. So I get to first base, and my first base coach goes to me, he's like, Darren, don't run on this pitch. I'm like, okay. So I didn't run. I was striking out. Then he said, the next pitch goes by, he's like, Darren, don't run. So it was a strike two. And he's like, third time, he goes, Darren, you're running on this pitch. So I ran, and in baseball, it was like a sacrifice bunt. A sacrifice bunt is when you're sacrificing an out, so you can get the next guy into scoring position. So he gets me in scoring position. We have one out on second base, and that's kind of my instincts. They took him out to visit. One of the coaches came and talked to their pitcher. The next pitcher said, listen, you're on second base. Don't try to be no hero or anything. If a ball in the dirt happens to, hit the ground and you can run and take, advance to the next base, you can do it. So the very next pitch, goes into the dirt, I run, slide to third base, and there's an overthrow. Only thing I remember from it, I had to watch it over and over again because I kind of like blacked out on it. Was just the ball flying over my head. That's it. It's the ball's kind of flying over my head. That's it. I don't remember sliding to the third, getting running home, anything, or having like 40,000. Screaming. So it was definitely a blessing. So and I actually helped us get to the playoffs and win the World Series. So that's definitely one. Thank you. To top everything off, like I felt so much in the minor leagues. I said before that by the time I got to the major leagues, I was prepared. I was prepared, and just like I coach these kids every day. Hopefully one day I can come out, Bond High School and win a state championship one day. But I love coaching the kids these days because it's starting from the bottom, kind of where I started, and kind of building up actually, seeing them grow, be successful, go to college and things like that. It's definitely a blessing. I want to thank everyone again, and my message to everyone today is you never know when the opportunity will come. You never know. Just make sure you be prepared. Thank everyone at the Hall of Fame committee. Thank everyone at the Bond. Thank you guys.
moving right along. One thing I did want to make mention, I'll do this very quickly, but a lot of people don't know that Darren is a phenomenal track runner here at Vineland High School. And I did want to make that he's going in for baseball, but quite honestly, he should be in here for a phenomenal 1 year track season that he had. In 2004, Darren was the #1 indoor sprinter in the entire state of New Jersey. That was off of 1 season. And he was what we say the man in the state of New Jersey. And of course, he took all that speed to the major leagues. All right, next we have Alex Gomez. He's going to come and introduce Maritza Jimenez.
And that's a hard one to follow there. You're going to have to boost them up. Congratulations on a lot of the nominees tonight. Shout out to Mr. Darren Ford. I've known Darren for quite some time. I remember I had the younger sister, so Darren was friends with. And I remember being at the house and him as a little boy. My girlfriend at the time, which is my wife, Dee, asking him what are you going to be when you grow up. He's like, I'm going to be a professional. I'm going to keep going. And look, he knew what he wanted to be. Congrats, Darren. Tonight is more than a celebration. It's an honor to be up here. Working for the city of Vineland. It's nice to team up with the Vineland High School. Athletic Director Ashley, it's a pleasure working with you. Dealing with the city, we have worked hand in hand with our recreation department and our athletics here at the high school. Our softball games, our baseball games, whatever facilities we have in the city belongs to the high school. So Ashley, it's a privilege. Maritza Jimenez, I call her Maritza, is a graduate of 2009, played softball 2006 to 2009. It was an honor and privilege for me to take over the program in 2009 with a dominant softball team. I was lucky enough to have a couple Division I athletes and a couple D2s and D3s already on the team. So I was off to a great start for my coaching career. They made it very easy. Marty was a phenomenal leader on and off the field. One thing about Maritza Jimenez, I'm going to read off some stats, but the best thing about her is the family that she comes from. And tonight I want to give a special shout out to her parents, her family, for being her biggest supporters. It's always an honor and a privilege to coach young student athletes when their parents are completely on board, and that makes life a lot easier. And I congratulate them. Marty was a four-year medal winner in both varsity softball and soccer. She was named All-South Jersey in 2009, earned All-Cal, All-Star recognition in 2008 and 2009. She captured 2 Cape Atlantic League championships in 2007 and 2009 that I was a part of, and it was a fun journey as well. Also won division championships in 2006 through 2009. Following her successful high school career, Marty went on to play at Robert Morris University, where she continued her athletic journey there. While playing there as a freshman, her stats here as a freshman. She was ranked 3rd on the team on base percentage, led freshman in batting average and doubles, hit .353 with a 4.63 on base percentage, and a 529 slugging mark in conference play. Started in all 34 games. The one big thing about Marty was, even in high school, Marty was a true third baseman, and during the high school season, I didn't have a legit shortstop, and Marty being the size that she was, strong at number 3, 4 batter, she still fulfilled the role to move over to short and still compete with the best of them. and I created a shortstop from the third baseman, which is very hard to do. And she did phenomenal with them stats and competed with the best shortstops around. So congratulations, Maritza, on that. That's big. Throughout her career, Maritza Jimenez exemplified the qualities of a true leader and a dedicated teammate. Her commitment, work ethic, team-first attitude helped her succeed both on and off the field. Today, we're excited to have her here to share some experiences, knowledge, and passion for the game. Please stand up and give a warm welcome to Maritza Jimenez.
I want to first thank the Hall of Fame Committee for this incredible honor. I want to thank the high school for putting together this ceremony. It's truly great to be back. As a kid, you always have dreams of what you can do or where you can become. For me, that dream was to be in the Olympics. As I got older, it shifted to playing D1 softball, which I was blessed to do. But I never dreamed of being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I think we sometimes view high school as just a stepping stone to our next chapter, but it's so much more than that. High school helps build the foundation for who we become and who we want to be. It gives us the freedom to dream big and shoot for the stars. Vineland High School did that for me, and I will forever hold Vineland High School in my heart. As my kid's favorite movie says, roots run deep. Because Vineland High School gave me that foundation, I want to thank the people who helped make this possible. First, I want to thank God for blessing me with the abilities I had, for giving me hope when things got tough, and for placing people in my life who helped me reach this moment. That support started in the classroom. To the teachers I had, thank you for giving me the skills and knowledge to be successful outside of sports. To my coaches, thank you for pushing me to be better as a player, a teammate, and a person. Thank you for challenging me, for believing in me, and demanding nothing but the best. To my teammates, thank you for picking me up when I made an outlier error, and for pushing me to be better. You taught me that the best teams are built on trust and the willingness to show up for one another, especially when things don't go perfectly. Behind every team, there are people who keep athletes going. To my athletic trainers, thank you for keeping me whole, taping me together at times, and always having ice and rehab ready for my various ailments. You are truly the unsung heroes of sports. While so many people shaped my experience at Vineland High School, none of this would have been possible without my family. Thank you for all the support through the years, for taking me to pitching lessons at the batter's box, for waking up at some obscene hour to drive to a field in the middle of nowhere to play however many games in the heat, and for all the pickup games in the backyard that fueled my love of sports. Having you at my games made everything so much better. To my brother and sister who is also being inducted tonight, thank you for always being at my games, whether it's freezing cold or scorching hot. I always love seeing you there on the sidelines. Having you both there made the victories even better and the losses a little easier. I love you both. To my parents, what can I say? Thank you for giving me a strong foundation of faith and family. Thank you for supporting my dreams unconditionally and for always being there for me. I am blessed to have you both, and I cannot wait to share all that you've taught me with my kids. Thank you for every sacrifice you made. I love you both. And I'm sorry about all those pitching lessons, but I think it worked out in the end. And lastly, to my husband and kids, Anthony, thank you for being the best partner, husband, and father. Thank you for supporting my dreams and for making so many of them come true. I cannot imagine life without you. To my kids, Catalina and Anthony, always dream big. Never let the failures or losses get you down. Your father and I will always be there to support you, encourage you, and pick you up when you need it. I love you both. So thank you once again for this honor and for this wonderful ceremony. And congratulations to all the other inductees on all your successes.
Next, we'll keep it all in the family. We're going to ask Greg Tracy, who's Marie's javelin coach during high school, come up at this time for Maria Jimenez.
First of all, I'd like to give Lord and Savior all honor and glory for the speech on my behalf tonight. Can you hear now? What I said before? Okay. This room here, this is amazing. Started my career here at Vineland High School 60 years ago. My first day in class was right now, and the two last semester, Mr. Dan, Mr. Kosh. He was the head coach of the boys, inside, looking at the gym over here, doing the calisthenics, and run about 3 miles from the hall. So, to me, with my track and field, I figured, well, I gotta run, that's it, it would be cool. So, about 3 days it rained, and we got a torrential downpour. And they busted a hump in here. So, make a long story short, going back over 60 years, I made my career so off in sophomore. Never did I anticipate being up here tonight. A lot of things happened in my life, career. Got the school record here 57 years ago. And the Hall of Fame with the javelin. Bringing that into Vineland High School, coach, a good friend of mine, he's deceased now. Coach Boykin asked me to come here to Vineland High School and coach the girls' track team with them and be a first coach for them. I said, all right, no problem. I was a prep. I came over here and I said, okay, I'm not going to do it. So, Maria comes out on the team. I'm looking, I said, this girl's pretty athletic. And she's a condition and everything else, and she picked up a javelin and she's tossing it around like she was doing. I said, wow. I said, this could be something good. And she got better and better and better and better. She got undefeated for the 3 years in dual meets at Vineland High School. She was Cumberland County champion for 3 years. She was breaking records every time she went to meet. And that's why I got the shirt on tonight, because Carol Belford had given us a shirt, she was the coach at the time, and Maria had one also. And every week we went to, I wore the shirt. So I figured, well, you know what, tonight, for my wife, I said, I gotta find that shirt. She probably threw it away. I don't feel nothing. I keep it. I said, I'm gonna wear the shirt. I gotta look for it. So she says, nah, let's go. So we went to the store yesterday, I bought a nice dress shirt. I didn't feel comfortable. I'm not a suit and tie guy. So, I guess it was about maybe 11:30 this morning. I found that shirt. So I went and went in a room we had there, and I was looking through all the drawers and everything. And here we are. I put it on. She thought it was the one she had. But the one she had was the large. This is large, right? And I said, I'm going to wear this fleece, put it dry, just leak it out, and I'll wear it to the dress. So she said, well, go ahead, let's see if you feel comfortable doing it today. But while I'm wearing this shirt, because every meeting we went to, and I was coaching the meeting, I had the shirt on. It brought good luck. So I said, well, one more time to wear this would be great. And that's why I got it on tonight. So everybody's dressed, I got that shirt on. Getting back to Maria, she was something special. I knew that. She
set records almost every time she went to a championship meet. The blessing that I have as a coach, the coaching. But we have a little disagreements once in a while, but that's any coach and that. We used to have little talks too after practice, and I would say, you know what? I said, one day, you can be the best student that I have. I says, and become state champion, be in the Hall of Fame. Every student went away, we had a couple of away. And she really came through every time she had a chance to compete. And, a lot of good memories we had. Sheriff's with my babies. And just a few things that she did. Went to junior relays. She set the record that still stands today at 135. 135.2. That's for relays. She went with her relay partner. They set a record, school record, which still stands today. It's 217.4. Wood grade relays. She recorded a record there, winning that. She got outstanding athlete award for that. And it's the record she set was 153.6. Still stands, it was still stands there. I'm sorry. My sister out there. I was hoping it would stay, but somebody else I won't mention it. We then went to the Roman Girls Championship meet. Maria set the all-time record there, which still stands to this day. 153. 154.11. Which still stands to this day. Okay. State section champion, Route 4 South. 2011. She set the record. She broke the record by about 30 feet. Set the record for 143 feet 4 inches. Came back in 2012, became state section champion again, breaking her own record with a 152.6. Went to the Penn relays, took the second place behind a girl from Pennsylvania by 5 inches. Let me tell you about that right there. She was into the finals there, and the girl from Pennsylvania throws pretty good. So I'm over there talking to her one way with the measure of the maximum. And she's looking at me, she said, what should I do? What should I do, coach? I said, give it your all, I don't care if you foul, just go for it. So I go on the side, I'm standing with her parents and the other coach and people over there. She threw a jab, it took off. It passed that girl from Pennsylvania. Everybody was there to cheer. Yeah. And it seemed like forever, they finally came up with a score. We gave that girl 5 inches more than what Maria did. She took the second place. But anyway, she set the school record on that. With a 154.6. She broke the school record 6 times in her career. Okay? The Atlantic Championship came around. They go to Paris. She was waiting around, it seemed like for hours and hours because the music all slow, and boys, girls, and girls. Started to get dark. So I'm saying to myself, you gotta get this thing done. It's getting cold and everything else, and I know she was tired, I was tired. Everybody there was tired. And I looked at each other and I fully appreciate it. Come on, let's get going. So he's a wise man. I've left for a few years. Einstein. And she's strong, she's in first place. She's got one more throw. She came down, and she did that point. The job took off like a rock. Boom! I'm going to look like this and say, 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 154.6. 1 thing about Maria, it's very hard to throw javelin, and he's settled, so he's not going to get out of the ball. She's done up from day one. She got a left leg that went into the ground like an oak tree. And hit that plant, and everything transferred from the ground to the oak tree. She did it. And almost every time she threw it. It's very hard to teach. She did it. She got this announcement thing on her part. Anyway, thing lands, throughout the stress and tape out. Like this now. He looks at it. Looks at it again. Looks back at me. I'm saying, dude! I said, come on, what's the number? What is it? It's got to be out there. And it goes 160 feet, 8 inches. A new school record. A new record for Cape Atlantic Championship. It still stands to this day. And she became the first girl in the history of New Jersey track and field to the javelin at 160 feet. Very proud. That's a phenomenal feat that night. New records. Couldn't be proud. But when she threw that, everybody, he said the numbers, everybody just erupted. Everybody was clapping. Everybody was screaming and yelling. We were looking at the biggest bear I've ever knocked it down. I put my back there for this fall, but it was a great moment. It was a beautiful night. That year, the state champion. She was nationally ranked as number 3 in the nation in 2012, and number 1 in the nation for the senior class. It's a big feat. I got to look at that, so we'll do it later. She became the first athlete of the year 2012. She went to Monmouth University after graduation, and she set, as a freshman, she set the school record at javelin with 151 feet 2 inches. She later transferred to the University of Tennessee, where she had another stellar career there. And at the regionals in Alabama, she threw a javelin 168 feet 1 inch that qualified her for the NCAA Division I National Championship in Eugene, Oregon. That record today still stands at the University of Tennessee after 10 years. So, we used to joke around like that, you know. You become a school record holder, this and that, you can queen of the javelin. And I said, I guess I consider myself a king of the javelin. I javelin for here for 57 years. But anyway, to come back here and to teach somebody, to coach somebody, to see the event that you excel in. And how her to be the best ever women's javelin player. And to be honest with you, I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I'm going to say her record stay here forever. Because the 160 feet from all every day. That's a once in a lifetime pro high school athlete. And she did it. One of the greatest athletes in our coach is my coaching career. I coached a lot of athletes in the state of Jersey, great athletes. She did it, she did it well. In fact, she beat me by 1 foot. I have to say that. I was only state section champion and record holder 1 time. She was first, so that's a good feeling. Jamie. And I thank the parents, I thank the committee, everybody that's here tonight. Fabulous job you did. And, so, we're it.
Good evening, family and friends in the Hall of Fame Committee. I would first like to thank the committee for this incredible honor of being inducted into the Vineland High School Athletic Hall of Fame for my accomplishments throwing the javelin. It is truly a privilege to be recognized along with so many talented athletes. Growing up, I had only played soccer or softball my whole life. I played softball my I had actually played softball during my freshman year at Vineland with my sister, who was a senior at the time. So when I joined the track and field team as a sophomore, I actually had no idea what javelin even was, let alone that track was anything more than running. Fortunately for me, because of my background in softball, the coaches at the time had encouraged me to give the javelin a try. And that one decision changed the course of so many things in my life. I went from throwing softballs over the backstop from center field during warm-ups to breaking all the local meets, county and state record in the javelin. But my journey didn't end at Vineland. I was able to take the javelin and have the opportunity to compete at the Division I level both at Monmouth University and the University of Tennessee, which is where I even set, as Teresa mentioned, the school record. More importantly, my time at Tennessee gave me so much more than athletic achievement. It brought me new friendships, unforgettable experiences, and the chance to compete against the best athletes in the country. These are moments that I will always carry with me. There are a few people that I'd like to thank that are here today. To my parents, thank you for your love and support, for countless car rides to practices and meets, and for always cheering the loudest. To my coaches, some of which it was a surprise to see you tonight. Sylvia Belarza, Coach Spence, Coach Duffy, and Coach Shield, sorry about that, and Coach Boykin, who's no longer with us today. And to Coach Teresa, thank you for everything you've done for me. You've had an incredible athletic career yourself, but what has always stood out to me most is your willingness to share your wealth of knowledge and experience with every athlete you've coached and continue to coach. Your belief in me, your guidance, your mentorship, and your constant encouragement pushed me to become the best athlete I could be, and I will always be grateful for that. And finally, to my family, my husband Will, my son Jackson, my daughter Penelope, and our newest little one who arrives in November. Thank you for your love, encouragement, and support every single day. It is incredibly special to share a piece of my past with you tonight. While this honor celebrates what I've accomplished on the track, you are my greatest accomplishment. Athletics taught me that success comes from saying yes to new opportunities, working hard, and persevering through challenges. Those are lessons I hope to carry forward as we continue building our life together and embrace all the adventures and challenges in life ahead. Thank you again to the Hall of Fame committee, and congratulations to my fellow inductees.
Okay, last but not least, I got a call a little while ago. One of my former coaches when I was a small bit, Alba, who was a recreation commissioner here in Vineland. And he mentioned about the next inductee, Marvin Tharp. And he started giving me all the list of all the accolades, and I was like, this guy probably should have been in there 30 years ago. It was just absolutely phenomenal what he shared with me. So I'm going to ask Mr. Paul Tharp, if he would come up at this time. Let's give him a hand as he comes. I let him share some of the accolades, and I was just amazed by this. He's just a phenomenal man. Absolutely. Well deserved.
I'm hoping you all can hear me. I'd like to first start by congratulating all the inductees tonight. It's a great honor for which you should be very proud. And as a BHS alumnus, I'm also very proud of you and your accomplishments. The passion for competing began in junior high school. For those of you who can remember junior high school, we actually had it there. And that's where it started for my brother. And while at Memorial Junior High School here in Vineland, he earned varsity letters in football, where he was chosen as team captain in 1961, and track and field, where he held the record for shot put, and he also led it in wrestling. Well, those experiences paved the way for what became, for him to become one of Vineland High School's greatest athletes. And football was where it really made his mark. First starting as a sophomore and taking a beating from all the upperclassmen, well, guess what? He worked his way to a starting position and eventually earning a varsity letter. During his junior and senior years is when he set the standard of play for offensive and defensive linemen, playing at an all-star level with unmatched tenacity and leadership, and never wanting to leave the field, playing from whistle to whistle. One specific example stands out was during a game at Catone Stadium, which is one of the greatest places to play high school football. Shortly before halftime, Marvin came running off the field, threw off his helmet, and he was bleeding in his head from the top of his forehead, blood just gushing down, covering his jersey. It was unbelievable. And as usual on those Saturday afternoons, there was a big, strong contingent of our family there watching him play. And a number of the ladies in that contingent had their head in their hands, wondering what was going on. Well, they slapped a towel over his head and walked him around the end zone and down the steps and into the locker room of the old Vineland High School, which is now, of course, Landis Junior High School. Well, halftime came and the teams went off the field and so on and so forth. And halftime was over, the teams came out, and there was no 77, and that was my brother. So everybody was wondering what was happening. Well, not long after the halftime, second half started, my brother came running up the steps, out around the field, around the end zone, to a great cheer from that crowd. That he was returned. He went right back onto the field, never came off, and led his team to victory. That was an example he made. And if you look on the cover of your books on the table, you'll see up in the top left-hand corner, a picture of big number 77, and that's what you saw coming at you during a football game. So you better be ready. If not, you're in trouble. In 1964, with the respect of his teammates, through the respect of his teammates, he was selected as co-captain of the football team accomplishments on the field continue to draw interest from many colleges around the country, and eventually earning him a full football scholarship to North Carolina State University, which is big time football, ladies and gentlemen, in the Atlantic Coast Conference. And he was awarded a scholarship there. And he'll expound upon this later, but I'm telling you, it was a big deal. It was a big deal for this town. It was a big deal for our family. You know, my brother was traipsing around the countryside playing big time college football Saturday afternoon on television, and it was really cool. Also, my brother was a member of 3 consecutive Group 4 track and field championship teams at Vineland High School, and they're up there on that banner. He earned several medals for shot put and discus during the course of those events. We should not forget the importance of being a student athlete. We all honor athletes here, but my brother's prowess off the field was also something to be recognized. And he set many examples for the people around him. And in some of those accolades, some of his accomplishments, and some of those accolades, I'm reading all this without my glasses. He was president of his sophomore class in 62 and 63, president of his junior class in 63 and 64, and president of the VHS Student Council in 64 and 65. The things that he did to lead his class and serve and give some direction to his fellow students led to some very good honors. And among those, in 1965, he was chosen the Earl Spiegel Award for Best All-Around Male Student. This is awarded to the boy who has been outstanding in athletic achievement, leadership, cooperation, health, character, scholarship, and extracurricular activities. I think they just ran out of things to say, because he got them all. In 1965, he won the American Legion Auxiliary Award and voted by the graduating class based on honor, courage, knowledge, leadership, and service. The 1965 Sons of the American Revolution Award for leadership, character, and service. He was also awarded the Student Council Award in 1965 and honored for the National Athletic Scholarship Society at Vineland High School. There are some things that helped him along the way to realize how to achieve these goals. And in his own words, this is what he believes: the importance of hard work, selfless dedication to the goals of your teams. The purpose as a leader is to help others to succeed in their roles and choice of activities. And the importance of working as a team in athletics and student government. Marvin has served as an inspiration to myself, my sister who is here tonight, and the rest of our family. And he will continue to serve as an inspiration to his son who is here tonight and to his two young grandchildren. It is my distinct honor to present for induction to the Vineland High School All-Sports Hall of Fame, my brother, Marvin Tharp.
So I had a bunch of things that I could say. I'm going to try to keep it short. Thanks, Paul. By the way, my brother was an all-county football player at Vineland High, and my sister, Nicosia, was also a Vineland High player. I'm a Vineland boy. I was born and raised here, and I essentially moved away from Vineland when I graduated from college. Vineland never left me. always carry Vineland in my heart. And whenever I'm back in town to visit, my brother has to take me around to get me updated on everything. I did that with my son, Max. God bless us with Max today, showing him what things were like and trying to give him a picture of what we had and lived with here in Vineland. And when I come back, the memories are strong. Sometimes I laugh, sometimes I want to cry, but I'm a Vineland boy. I was born in Newcomb Hospital to Marvin Sr., Alberta Studel Tharp Caroli, and I was the oldest son. We have an extensive family. Paul talked about, I have like almost 30 cousins. I had 11 uncles, and almost all of them went to the football games. Catone Stadium was a place where we lived on Saturday afternoons, and when I had an opportunity to participate in fun, I was really honored. So I'm a Vineland boy, raised and bred. Today I live in Ocean Isle Beach, North Carolina, which is the southernmost island in North Carolina, with my wife Max. God blessed us with Max, who also lives in North Carolina. My father passed away when we were in junior high school. I was in junior high school. And that caused some significant changes in our lives. For me, it meant that I needed more outside help in growing up. And I found that. I found that at Memorial, junior high. I found that at Vineland High School. And I was really pleased to have found coaches and faculty and people working on student activities that became my mentors. In junior high school, you won't know these names. Joe Pino, Tom Appleby, my line coach sophomore year in high school was Bill Gaynor. He later became head coach. Jim Chapman was my junior and senior line coach. And Clarion Kosh, with 3 conference championships, was the track coach, and I had great teammates all across the board in those 3 sporting activities. As Paul said, I also took the things that he talked about, the ability to put yourself behind or put your teammates and your friends in front of their own interests. This is something I got from Coach Gator and Shannon. Don't look for your name in the paper. Don't look for accolades, and don't look for people to applause when you come out on the field. Because most of the time, as an offensive lineman, people aren't going to know who you are anyway. You're not there for the applause, the articles, or anything else. You're there to help your teammates succeed. And that extended to the organizations that I participated in as leaders, as a leader. So, anyway, life lessons. So football was more to me than just an opportunity to go out on the field and catch a ball. It was an opportunity to grow and demonstrate my conviction and caring for other individuals. Paul talked about the things I did in outside of sports. Student athlete was important. And when, after my father died, Memorial and then Vineland High became a second home. And I would close the door on the house on the way out. And so that house was closed. And I'd get on the bus, and I'd get out here in the parking lot, and come into the building, and I'd open that door. And that was my second house. So I went from one home to another one. And my classmates were really my family. And as a matter of fact, Paul and I had lunch the other day down at Stone Harbor with 3 of my classmates, and we're all exchanging stories. The things that we remembered and the memories of the people were just amazing. So Vineland is in my heart, and I still continue to stay in touch with people. 3 of my classmates have homes in Ocean Isle Beach, and so I see them regularly. There's a website called Classmates, and so there's always things going on there. I usually carry my yearbook with me when I go places, try to remember people, and continually reach out to reconnect with folks. So, anyway, participating in high school, my second home, my second family, it's in my home. So, Paul talked about the fact that I was lucky to find an opportunity to extend my football playing experience. And I was offered a couple of opportunities, scholarships, but I chose North Carolina State in Raleigh, North Carolina, because I wanted to be an engineer. And they had, and still do, have a great engineering program. My son graduated from NC State also, biological sciences. But I went down there, and that experience was something else. I took all the Chapman and Bailey taught in Appleby before that, and I applied them. And we had some very good teams. I played with and against All-Americans. We had some very good teams. In my sophomore year, 1967, we beat Georgia in the Liberty Bowl, and we finished 9-2. I got to play most of the entire game against Georgia and played against All-Americans. And we wound up being 9-2 and ranked 7th in the country at one poll and 11th in another. In 1968, as Paul said, I started for 2 years. In 68, we won the Atlantic Coast Conference Championship. And for those of you who don't know the ACC, it's schools like at that time, Maryland, and South Carolina, Clemson, Virginia, University of North Carolina, and Wake Forest and Duke. So, while you don't hear too much about those schools up here, it's a strong conference at the time, and we had nationally ranked teams throughout that. So, that was a great experience. Some things happened, and one of the things I learned when I went to college, when I went to high school, I was one of the bigger linemen. I got down to Raleigh, and lo and behold, I played against, on my Cornell team, the 3 varsity years that we had back then. I had All-American defensive linemen on our team. So every day I got to practice against All-Americans. And then we played against national ranked teams, so I got to play against All-American linemen and linebackers. And it was a real challenge. Paul talked about the stitches over my head in high school. Well, I learned some lessons. I learned that when I got down there, I gave away 40 to 50 pounds to my opponents. And I gave away 4 to 6 inches in height. But I didn't get beat very often. I was a tough bullet. And the things that I learned here paid off and stuck with me. So I came away, I developed an attitude that you don't measure the size of an offensive lineman with a tape measuring scale. You measure the size of an offensive lineman from the inside out. You judge their size on determination, on willingness to sacrifice themselves, on conviction, putting themselves behind the interest and needs of your teammates and your fellow students. So when and you probably, most of you might have probably don't want to be your grandfather, but so my name appeared here, and in my senior year, I was all ACC, so some people noticed. But this notion of put yourself second, put your team first, that was part of what was ingrained in us here. And my coaches did that here, and I picked it up. My offensive line coach at NC State was a Juniata College coach, and he played at Penn State, so we had that strong influence. Measure the offensive lineman from the inside. Those values stick with me now. And I took those values with me, and I applied them to my career. I had a very good career with IBM as a cloud services executive and as a management consultant before that. And again, put yourself behind, put your teammates, your employees, your friends ahead of you. And there's actually, that became a thought called servant leadership. But anyway, so that was something I carried into that. And I continued after I retired from IBM with Boy Scouts, 10 years as leadership at the troop and council level, professional engineering societies, and the American Red Cross when I was program leader for disaster services in the Raleigh Triangle. So all of that was based on this notion, put yourself second, put the needs of your constituents and your teammates ahead of you. So, anyway, I could go on and on, but I won't. I just want to say a couple things. I was willing, concussions, broken nose, stitches, I was willing to put those things behind me. And I was willing to bleed Fighting Clan red, which I did, and NC State Wolfpack red. So I was willing to give those things for my team and my teammates. So let me conclude by saying I'm very thankful for the opportunities I had here. I really love coming back and taking tours with my brother and my sister, and now bringing my son and soon grandkids up here. So anyway, in conclusion, go Fighting Clan, go NC State. Beat all that.
Okay, I don't want to hold anyone up. Again, we want to thank everyone for coming this evening. Congratulations to all of our inductees. Congratulations, Rob Bradley. And lastly, I didn't mention the plaques that you see up here on the table. They will be placed in our Hall of Fame wall, which is right out here in the hallway. Some of you may have not gotten a chance to walk the hallway to see this. If you get a chance, walk out there and see all the plaques that we have hung up. Please don't be in a rush. If you want to take pictures, feel free to do so. And again, thank you for a wonderful, wonderful evening. God bless.